At my football game, a cheerleader grabbed me and said, "Can you help me? It's coming." "What's coming?" I asked, setting down my water bottle on the bench. She was gripping my jersey with one hand and holding her stomach with the other, her face twisted in a way that made me think she was about to throw up. I thought she needed help with her skirt or something, but then she screamed at me, more like all the air being forced out of her lungs at once. Suddenly, she collapsed behind our bench holding her stomach, and I started looking for her boyfriend. She was dating Owen, our starting quarterback, and they'd been together since sophomore year. "Help me! Please get someone!" she gasped, and I'd never run so fast in my life. I didn't know who to get. I couldn't see a single girl in sight, so I grabbed the next best person. Our coach took one look at Jenna, and his eyes went wide under the stadium lights. Jenna kept saying, "It's too early. It's not supposed to happen yet," which didn't make any sense because what was too early? Our coach started freaking out before telling me to stay with Jenna. He went and grabbed one of our teachers, Mrs. Pruitt, from the stands, and as I kneeled next to her, I asked what was wrong. She was holding her stomach, and then it hit me. Jenna was having a baby, right here, during homecoming. The crowd was starting to notice something was wrong because we'd formed this weird huddle behind the bench, and the referees were blowing their whistles wondering why half our team wasn't on the field. Owen came jogging over in his quarterback gear, asking what was wrong with his girlfriend, and Jenna grabbed my hand so hard I thought she'd break it. "Don't let him see. You can't let him see the baby," she whispered to me, but Owen was already trying to get there. Everyone in the stands were freaking out over what was happening, and every student was trying to see what was going on. The cheerleading squad had formed this protective circle around Jenna, but you could still hear her screaming over the marching band that was trying to play through their halftime show. "We need to get her to the ambulance," Mrs. Pruitt said, but when two players tried to lift Jenna, she screamed so loud the referees actually stopped the game completely. "No! The baby's coming now!" Jenna yelled, and I swear you could hear every single person in that stadium gasp at the exact same time. Nobody knew Jenna was pregnant. She'd been doing backflips at last week's game. Owen heard, and I saw him go from confused to completely panicked. I looked at him as he kept saying, "What baby? What baby?" We had to do it right there. "Push!" Mrs. Pruitt yelled, and then the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life happened. She had to give birth right there on the field, but as Mrs. Pruitt kept telling her to stay strong and push, one person in the crowd started chanting, "Push!" and within seconds the entire stadium joined in. 1,000 students all started cheering her on, yelling, "Push! Push! Push!" Jenna was crying and pushing, and everyone was a mix between terrified and confused. Everyone had completely forgot about the game, while Owen was still just trying to get to Jenna to see his kid be born. We were watching this teenage girl give birth on the sideline of a high school football game while people blocked her boyfriend from getting through. "One more push!" Mrs. Pruitt shouted, and Jenna screamed one final time. Then suddenly there was a different kind of cry, a baby's cry. We had to wrap him in football towels because we had nothing else, but the cheering stopped instantly when Mrs. Pruitt held up the baby to give it to Jenna. Owen finally pushed through because everyone was so caught off guard. Even from where I was standing, even under the harsh stadium lights, you could see it clearly. Owen stood there, completely dumbfounded when the lights shined on the baby. Everyone in the crowd gasped, looking back and forth between him and Owen because Owen was white and the baby was definitely black.